Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk, let's chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing. Cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast and we poppin', let's go.
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking? What's poppin', Panther Nation? It's your boy Rashad, one half of the Panther Nation podcast, and we are here to react live to the Dan Morgan and Dave Canales press conference. Okay, the introductory press conference. It does not begin until 10 o'clock. Okay, so I know we're going to get people in, and they're going to ask, where is it? When is it going to start? Are they started? Why are you not showing the screen? It's not going to start until 10 o'clock. Okay, it happens all the time. People are going to come in asking, and it doesn't start till 10. Okay, so with that said, though, let me get ready to prepare for that and share my screen, share system audio. Let's just make sure the audio works. And I'm gonna, just hit this, and y'all pause, and y'all let me know if it's working.
Kristen Balboni here with
Can y'all hear that okay?
head coach Dave Canales. Has that title sunk in for you yet? Are you used to hearing it?
Oh, I mean, 2004, I'm the head JV coach at Carson High School. So, I've been chasing that title back for a while now, but no, absolutely not.
All right. So y'all can hear that okay? So whenever it goes live, y'all know the drill, man. Some of y'all been around for a long time. Y'all know what time it is. So, I just got to make sure I tell the new people how this works. So everybody, at 10 o'clock, we will go back to that view, and we will listen to the press conference. I feel like deja vu. We just went through this last year and 3 years prior to that. This is something that keeps happening, like Groundhog's Day. Matter of fact, Groundhog's Day is coming up pretty soon. I was looking at my calendar and I saw that, and I feel like this is Groundhog's Day. We're right back at it. Another introductory press conference. Dave Canales, Dan Morgan, the first time in the David Tepper era that we will be announcing two new folks in the offseason. So that's one thing to be excited about. We will see what happens and how the outcome turns out during the season. But as many Panthers, like myself, as many Panthers fans, we are cautiously optimistic with the Panthers and what we're going to see on the field. And so I gotta give the Panthers some credit here. They're putting out a lot of content. It's almost like they're kind of trying to squash the YouTubers almost, because they're putting out a lot of content. They're putting out a lot of content, whether it's YouTube, whether it's on the website. They're putting out a lot of content. So I got to give them credit. They're working. And it's looking good. It's sounding good, but again, we cannot fall for the media spin. And because we did that last year with this all-star coaching staff, we were sold a bill of goods, and we were hoodwinked, befuddled. And so I'm not going through that again. And so I'm gonna wait to see. Got to see how the personnel moves. And I hope that's what they're asking today during this press conference, especially Dan Morgan. People, I know I was on the Rob Brown show this morning. Shout out to the fan upstate. And he asked me, hey, man, what are you looking forward to hearing from Dan Morgan? And I mean, if we're going to ask questions of Dan Morgan, we got to know, hey, what were your thoughts on some of these moves, B? Like, you was in the building. You were a holdover. How do we know you're different from the other guys? Okay. how are you different from the other guys? So I hope they press that. Shout out to all of the local the beat reporters that we have. Shout out to Chris from Charlotte Vibe, Vashti, Sheena Quick, Joe Person, even David Newton sometimes. And they got a job, Scott Fowler, all those guys, Mike K. They do a good job, and they did a good job trying to hold David Tepper accountable. And I hope we don't. I hope that's a guy we don't see today. I don't want to see David Tepper, to be honest with you. I don't care what he has to say. He ain't got nothing of importance to contribute to these conversations. We want to hear from the football people, not David Tepper. And so, you got these people hired. Let's get these folks in the building. Let David Tepper announce, his new guy that he hired, had a part in hiring Dave Canales, and let's go from there, man. Let's go from there. I don't want to hear nothing from David Tepper, bro. I'm just being real. Let's get the guys who can talk football and talk about the plan moving forward, and not David Tepper. Okay. All right. So how much do I have to pay for you guys to get rid of that horrible intro? You crazy? So corny? You're wilding? Hey, drop a band and I'll get a new intro. My man said the intro was corny. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. That's the first time I've ever heard anybody call our intro corny. You got to be trolling. You got to be trolling. That's the first time I've ever heard anybody say that. But it is what it is. Shout out to the Black delegation. Shout out to the Black delegation. Who we trading for? The Black delegation. Who are we trading for? Dave Canales? Who we trading to get Dave? Are we trading Thomas Brown for Dave Canales? The Black delegation. Shout out to the Black delegation. That's funny. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Watch the solo pressers like Canales. He's got a plan. He has a McVay type of aura. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. We'll see, man. I'm not taking the bait. I'm not taking the bait. I am not taking the bait, bro. I'm not taking the bait. I'm waiting, cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic when it comes to Dave Canales. So I gotta see it. I'm not about these words. I'm not about these words. We gotta see some progress. You gotta show me. I might as well be from Missouri. You gotta show me. I agree. Shout out to Eddie. I agree with you, bro. Agree with you. Real quick, shout out to Bleach Films, man. Shout out to Bleach Films. Ran into my man at Western Carolina University yesterday. I was doing some recruiting for the frat. The shout out to the Pi Mu chapter at Western Carolina. I was doing some recruiting out there, and my man pulled up. He said, "Yo, what's good, Rashad?" I'm like, I'm not you. I did not expect to see a fan out in Cullowhee, North Carolina, out of Western Carolina. So shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. Should have got a picture, man. We should have got a picture together. I'll be back out there, though. I'll be back out there in Western Carolina very soon. So I'll let you know. I'll give you a heads up, let you know when I'm gonna be back out there. Come holler at me, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you sliding by. Let's see. Shout out to Aspen. Shout out to Aspen. Intro is fire. I was thinking about it the other day. I was thinking about, man, let me hit Cuddy up for another intro. It's about time. It's about time for another intro. But I know y'all love it. I know y'all love the intro. And I don't know that I can, I don't know that I could take it from y'all. If the people want the intro, the people keep the intro. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Yeah, man, I was at Western. Shout out to Western Carolina. I was out there yesterday. All day. Spent all day out there. I was on campus. Got out there about 12 o'clock, and I stayed till about 8 o'clock. I was out there chilling. Yeah, man. I love the intro too, man. I love the intro too. We won't get rid of it anytime soon. Shout out to Charles Limit, man. Appreciate you. Says, yo, love this channel. Bro, you put the work in. Love the intro. Please keep it. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We love the intro. My man was trolling. It is what it is. My man was trolling. Is Dave joining us today? I don't know. I don't know if Dave is joining us. Yeah, I look a little different without the headband for sure. You definitely was cautious with your ass. He was like, Rashad? And I was like, yeah, it's me, bro. It's me, man. Appreciate that. Look a little different without the headband. That's true. This is like my disguise. It's like my cape, my Superman cape. When I'm in pod mode, it's a different Rashad. Professionally, I'm a different dude. You know what I mean? But hey, when the headband goes on, it's PNP all day. It's PNP all day. Hey, No, I did not watch the Legends Roundtable. It's almost like they watched a couple things. You know what I mean? Roundtables. Hey, look, man, listen, roundtable. They've never done a roundtable before. The Panthers. They've never done a Legends roundtable before, bro. The Legends series that I put together, interviewing some Panther legends. Now they got a Legends roundtable. Like, come on, man. We know what time. We know. We know. Come on, bro. We know. It's all good. We know what time it is. We know. I did not watch it though. I did not watch it. Definitely Clark Kenting. Definitely Clark Kenting without the headband. Definitely be Clark Kenting. Hey man, look, hey Panthers, man. I know y'all be watching my stuff. Y'all might as well hire me. Y'all might as well, if y'all want the sauce, just hire your boy. But it's been too many parallels to the content, right? The profiles, all the profiles for the coaches, like that was almost copy and paste, bro. Come on, bro. The profiles for the front office guys, come on, bro. The round tables, come on, man. Come on, bro. It's cool. It's cool though. Salute. It's salute, bro. Hey, imitation is the best form of flattery, bro. I did not invent the round table. I did not invent it, but hey, listen. I've been doing round tables for years with the the Panthers creators, bro. So it's all good, man. It's too many parallels. It's no coincidence, but it's all good. I ain't hating. It's enough for everybody out there. So it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I'm just, and I agree with I agree that my man says it wasn't worth watching. I'll probably take a few minutes to watch it. But it is what it is. They're not gonna slander anything, right? You got to be careful when it comes to ingesting the content from the Panthers because they're not gonna give you the real. They're not gonna. They are obligated to give, kind of skewed opinions, right? They're Panthers legends, but they're not gonna get put on the main page of the Carolina Panthers slandering the Panthers. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. My man said Panthers TV is like Fox News, bro. That's funny. That's funny. But hey, look, it's enough for everybody. Again, I'm not hating on the Panthers for borrowing some ideas. It's enough for everybody, bro. I don't hate on anybody. It is what it is. That's the nature of the beast. I'm flattered if that's the case. Maybe it is coincidence. Maybe it is coincidence, but I've seen a lot of parallels to the stuff I be doing on the Panthers from the Panthers content creators. So it is what it is, though. It's all good. It's all good. Need more former players on staff. Yeah, I've heard they have reached out to guys like Greg Olsen. It'd be great to get Luke in the building. It'd be awesome, man. That'd be good to get them in some sort of office job, whether it's a position coach or get them in the building some way, shape, or form. I'd enjoy it. I think it's, but you gotta look at it from a financial standpoint. Yeah, I mean, are they, bro? They can make so much more money doing other things. Like, for example, the amount of money that Greg Olsen was making doing commentary, I'm sure it's way more than he's gonna get paid as a position coach. Let's be honest. So it's not like, it's not apples to apples. I mean, they're gonna get, at the end of the day, dudes got to get compensated for what they do. You know what I mean? So I don't know that, it's not a position coach. No disrespect to the position coaches, but that's like a downgrade having a Panthers legend like Luke Kuechly being a position coach. Yeah, I mean, that's why you don't see real legends like that coaching, because it's not conducive to them financially. That's why you see all the legends in commentary. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I have seen Ladd. I have seen Ladd. I've been keeping my eye on the Senior Bowl for sure. And I may do a live stream during the Senior Bowl. I don't know if I'm going to have the time. We'll see what happens. Yes, Wesley. Yes, Wesley. I do live in Charlotte. And have they started construction on a new practice facility? Not going to lie, I'm excited for training camp in Charlotte. Yes, they have taken down the old practice bubble. I meant to talk about this on the show, but I must have missed it in the midst of all the other content that's come out. But yeah, they definitely have started the construction. They tore down the bubble, and the bubble is moving somewhere. I think they're donating that bubble to some. I don't know where they're putting it. I heard that they're donating it somewhere. But yeah, the construction has started. They're moving some dirt out there. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man, I've been watching Senior Bowl practices. I haven't been all in like I have in the past, just because it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, and I don't have the time to do it. But I will try to get as much content out there as I can regarding the Senior Bowl. I may do like a stock up, stock down for the Senior Bowl as far as guys that have increased their stock. Ladd is going to be on that. I've seen the damage he's been doing. Guys like Xavier Legette, I know he had a rough first day, but he's turning it around. So my ears are to the streets. My ears are to the streets, bro. My eyes are out there. I see what's going on. And we'll definitely recap the Senior Bowl at some point. All right. Let's see. My man said, yeah, get the likes up for sure. Hit that like button. I don't know what the like count looks like. Hey, but get it up. We got 400 people watching. I'm sure as soon as this press conference goes live, we will have upward of 800 to 900 to maybe even 1,000 people watching this. But make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Hit the subscribe button as well. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. We like 150 people away from 22,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. We need that subscription, okay? It helps us with the algorithm. The YouTube algorithm picks us up. So like, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff. We go live all the time. You never know when we're going to go live. So hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live, right? So with that said, man, we're just waiting for the press conference to go live. I'm going to be excited about something. I'm going to take some notes, and then we will go ahead and recap what I heard after the press conference. If you've been around for a long time, y'all are not new here. So if you have been around for a long time, you know how we handle these press conferences. We'll recap it, call Cap where we hear Cap, and get excited about things we hear. We'll kind of read between the lines of some things. My brain works a little bit different from others. I kind of read into a lot of things that I may, reach on. But we'll see. All right. Just shy of 130 likes. Come on, man. That is not. Look at the numbers. 602 people. We went from 400 to now 602 people. Come in, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And yes, I will be showing the press conference live. I have the screen up here. I will be showing it as soon as they go live. I will go live. Y'all let me know when everything goes live, and I will show it right here when it does. Okay? That's how things work around here. All right. I'm just going to hit the refresh button until that live. Oh, here we go. It is live. Here we go.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom of creation.
Skip that. All right. So y'all can hear that okay, right? We'll mute that while that comes on. What's good, everybody? Welcome. Come on, come all to the Carolina Panthers introductory press conference for Dave Canales and Dan Morgan. Hit that like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. But yes, I will be live reacting. To this press conference. It's gonna be fun. It seems like we do this every year. It's like deja vu. I said it's like Groundhog's Day, man. It's like Groundhog's Day, bruh. Groundhog's Day. It's like Groundhog's Day. Every year we come in here to hire somebody new and get them a press conference, bruh. It's just getting tired. It's getting old, man. It's getting old for sure. Whether it's a new GM, new head coach. Now we got a new GM and a new head coach coming in. Bro, I'm tired of it. Let's hope this is the last time that we have to do one of these for the next 20 years. That would be great. That would be great, bro. That would be great for us not to have to do this for another 20 years. It's 10 o'clock on the dot. The Carolina Panthers usually start things on time. So we will see. They usually they honor their time and respect everybody's time. So we'll see. Hopefully we don't see David Tepper. Hopefully we get straight to Dan Morgan, straight to Canales, and nothing from Tepper. We don't want to hear absolutely anything from him. Maybe from the Sportsology guy. I'd rather hear from the Sportsology guys. I'd rather hear from the Sportsology guys than David Tepper. Yeah, there it is. Tomorrow is Groundhog's Day. I knew I saw it on the calendar. I was looking at the calendar earlier today, and I saw that it was Groundhog's Day coming up. So yeah, tomorrow is literally Groundhog's Day, and it feels like Groundhog's Day today because we are here recapping and introducing a new staff member every single year. Is Brant Tillis in town yet? I'm not sure if he's going to be a part of this. I'm not sure if Brant Tillis is going to be a part of this press conference. They made it seem like it's just Dan Morgan and just Dave Canales, but I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But I'm excited about Tillis. Tillis is a guy that I have been excited about going back to before we even hired Scott Fitterer. I was excited about Tillis back then. So we'll see. All right, we're just waiting for this press conference to start. It has not started just yet, just waiting around. And yeah, when it goes live, you will see it right here. This is a great question. What are some questions that I would ask Dave Canales and Dan Morgan? So the first question, one of the first questions I would ask Dan Morgan is, how is he going to operate differently from Scott Fitterer? You were here as a holdover. In some of the bigger decisions, what was your thought process? And why should we trust you as the new GM when you're just a holdover? Okay. So that's the first question I would ask Dan Morgan. And then with Dave Canales, man, I would again, the answers are strictly the questions for Dave Canales are strictly be about the offense, obviously. And I would ask, and he's already addressed this in some of the Christy Balboni stuff and the article that's been put out. But it'd be great to hear it more, talking about how he envisions Bryce Young. What did he think about Bryce Young during the draft process? Because the Bucs were looking to potentially take a guy, and how did he feel about Bryce Young? How are you going to salvage Bryce Young and get him in the best position to succeed? One quote I did see about Canales in regards to Bryce Young is that, and I like the quote. I like the quote. He said that Bryce Young is one of 11 guys, right? He's an important guy, but he's one of 11 guys out there. So we got to get guys to surround Bryce Young. That sounded great. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, still waiting on this presser to start. Again, I would think that the Panthers would start things on time, but I get it. We'll give them a couple minutes grace period. I'm just gonna check other platforms. There we go. Should be starting. Should be the picture changed. Let's see what they talking about. Oh, hold on. Hold on. There we go. Let me unmute.
Buddy, on behalf of the Carolina Panthers,
there we go.
Tepper Sports and Entertainment, and David and Nicole Tepper. Welcome to Bank of America Stadium. Thank you all for being here. I'm Anish Shroff, the play-by-play announcer for the Carolina Panthers. And before we get started, there are a few people
Audio
I'd like
is
to
jacked
recognize.
Up. Hey, that ain't me.
We'd like to extend a special welcome to our current players, to our Panther legends who are here.
Shout out to the Panther legends in the building.
All of our honored guests, members
TD.
of the media, and those of you who are tuning in.
That was Tolbert, I believe.
We are here today to share how the Carolina Panthers are moving forward. And with that, I'd like to welcome the owner of the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, here we go.
Mr. David Tepper.
Bro, I thought, man. Oh, goodness. Here we go. Capathon.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Exciting day today. I'm excited to introduce to you our new head coach, Dave Canales. You can stand up. And our new President of Football Operations, General Manager Dan Morgan. I'm also thrilled to welcome Brant Tillis, who will serve as our Executive Vice President of Football Operations. Brant is with us today. Stand up, Brant.
Shout out to Brant Tillis.
Elizabeth is with him. Let me tell you a little bit about Dan and Dave.
Oh, we know, bro. Oh, here we go.
They're tremendous people, well respected, and they are both connectors. Dan has 14 years of front office experience all throughout the league. When Dan was a player, he kept the defense connected and on the same page. And I've seen those traits with him translate throughout this building with everyone, including scouts, players, and coaches. He keeps everybody moving in the right direction. As a player, he had a relentless pursuit of excellence, which will bring to this organization. Dave Canales brings that same quality to players and coaches and on the field every day. He has a track record of bringing the best out of players. He is a connector. He takes the time to work with players to create an environment that will earn their trust and maximize their ability. Each of them brings experience from winning programs. They share the same vision for our organization and are aligned on how they will get there. I'd like to ask Dan and Dave to join me on stage, but I also like to recognize Dan's wife, Ashley, and his family, and Dave's wife, Lizzie, and his family. So guys, come on upstairs.
Yeah, stay on script, Dave. Hey, Ted be cool when he on script. Once he start going rogue, that's when he start capping, bro. That's when the real information start coming out. So he stuck to the script. I give him credit with that. He stuck to the script. He didn't say much. And so I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with what we heard from Tep right there. He ain't start going off script, so he's good. Here we go.
First, I want to thank everybody for being here today.
This audio is trash, bro.
Named the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, along with Dave Canales as the head coach. Super excited to work with Dave. Me and Dave have known each other for many years now. And 7 years? Yeah, and this is a dream come true for both of us. The way Dave carries himself is a lot of the way that I carry myself, which is with honor, integrity, and we're going to work our butts off. So first, I just want to start off by thanking David and Nicole Tepper. It's been great working with you guys. It's going to get better and better. There's going to be a process. There's going to be alignment in our building, and we're going to do things the right way.
Bro, this audio is terrible. It's not me, bro. It's X. You can go anywhere. I can't turn it up anywhere.
The GM of the Carolina Panthers, after playing here 7 years with greats like Mike Brucker, one of my best friends is here, Vinny Churchill, he's here, Mike Tolbert's here, Thomas Davis, Jonathan Stewart, all these guys here, Musim Muhammad,
there we go.
You guys are the best, man. And
that's them.
Doors are always open. You guys are family, and we're going to make it a family environment, and that's the kind of environment that me and Dave want to create around here. So you guys are family. We're going to do everything in our power to build this team the right way, not only on the field, but off the field. The type of character guys that we bring in are going to be guys that love football, play with passion, and play with the relentless pursuit of greatness. There's several people that I'd like to say thank you to. Trent Kirshner, who's out in Seattle right now, he called me 14 years ago. He called me and he said, "I think you'd be a really good scout, Dan." And I didn't know if I wanted to do this or not, but 14 years later, here I am as the GM. So I guess he has a pretty good eye for who's good talent evaluator. So I thank him. John Schneider and Pete Carroll, they were so much fun to work with. I learned so much. As a young scout out there, I was just a pro scout, driving guys to the airport, putting the work in. And John and Pete were just so great to work under. And, you know, to be able to, for me and Dave to be able to learn under them is just, I mean, you can't get that experience anywhere. So I want to thank them. Brandon Bean, Joe Shane, and Sean McDermott, who I worked with in Buffalo. Again, learning from great mentors, people that know football, people that know how to put an organization together. Again, I can't thank them enough for everything they've done, and they've continued to help me to this day. Terry and Ken Pagula with the Buffalo Bills. Can't thank them enough for welcoming me in and my family in. They're the best. Just great people, just like Mr. and Mrs. Tepper. There's some great ownership in this league. Scott Fitter, I want to thank him for bringing me back to Carolina and giving me this opportunity. Scott's one of my great friends, and I thank him for everything that he's done for me. All of the Seahawks and Bills players, I want to thank them, because let's tell it how it is. You know, all the sacrifices those players have had and the hard work and the dedication, we wouldn't be where we were if it wasn't for the players. I mean, the players are what make this game. And I just want to thank everyone involved, player-wise, for being great and, you know, just kind of developing the relationships with them. I'd obviously like to thank my family, my wife, Ashley, my daughter, Lexi, my son, Brady, and my youngest, Callie. I love you guys so much, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. All the hard work, all the dedication, all the sacrifice, you know, Dad being at work and maybe missing some games. But I thank you guys, and I love you guys so much. To my parents, I want to thank them for instilling the values in me.
My man giving an acceptance speech out of his mind.
Hard work, dedication, all those things that I carry with me to this day. And I just want to thank them for always being there for me.
They trying to fix the audio, but it's terrible, bro.
Thanks, Dan. Morning. Just what a moment of gratitude. What a moment of just thankfulness. You know, I can, you know, in the room this big, and of course for everyone who's watching, you know, I think we can all kind of think about the people who believed in us first, who gave us our first opportunity to show who we are, to express ourselves. And so first I want to thank David and Nicole for giving me this opportunity. This is a dream of a lifetime that Lizzie and I have had. That goes back 20 years, and really, you know, the last 10 years really honing this opportunity to get in front of an ownership and to sell a vision of who we can become. It's in my DNA. It's a part of who I am, and for allowing me to be me and recognizing that. So I want to thank you, Christy, as well, just throughout the process. You know, it was, I learned so much just in those couple of days, just how to interact and how to try to just keep the focus on the things that are important and feeling what your vision is for this team and feeling that alignment that's happening with Dan and I to fit right into that. I'm just really appreciative there. I got to thank the Bucs organization for believing in me, giving me a shot. I was in Seattle for 13 years, but I get my first offensive coordinator opportunity way on the other side of the country. And so my family, you know, Lizzie and the kids moved out last April. I didn't quite make it to my 1-year anniversary there, which would have been February 18th. So this part has happened really fast, but this is something that I've been working on. I really want to thank the Glazer family, and Joel and Darcy, Jason Light, Todd Bowles, for giving me that chance, for just letting me let it rip, giving me the confidence to be able to do that. I'm really appreciative there, which takes me back to my time in Seattle. And to formulate an identity, to formulate a football DNA that wins 10 out of 13 years to the playoffs. I just coached in my 20th and 21st playoff games these past couple of weeks. And so I'm just really appreciative of Pete Carroll, who pushed me to think about the next thing. Quit looking just at the quarterback. Quit just staring at the wide receiver's route. Open your eyes. What's happening with these combos? You see what the defense is doing? Did you notice we're playing a lot more of this coverage this camp? Open your eyes. Think bigger. Be prepared. I can't thank Pete enough. I'm going to miss a bunch of other names, but at that point right there, I just want to also just thank the players, the guys who really just did a fantastic job in it. And most recently, you know, Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, these guys that I got to just spend so much life with, to learn, to watch them grow as men, to watch them grow as football players. It's their fault that I'm here. And that's the bottom line. It's about the players.
They are
my
jacking
family,
with audio, bro.
Just growing up in a family who's just
now
a
it's hella
family
loud.
of dreamers and self-starters in Carson, California, the Canales family, and then my extended family, the Hendersons, my wife's family, who we moved to in Seattle. We're with them for 13 years. How they walked the hard days, the frustrating days in the profession, the frustrating and hard days in our marriage and our family, walking alongside of us, and just their undying support, prayers, all of my family members and friends that have been supportive over the years. My kids, Ashby, Ben, B, Amaya, who lend their dad to this profession for 6 months at a time. But we fight for each other. We fight for windows. We fight to connect, to listen to each other and to grow together. And finally, my wife, Lizzie.
Getting emotional. You talk about them wives, bro. That'll punch you in the gut every time, bro. Getting emotional, B.
It's really
I
her
get
fault.
it.
20 years ago, I'm the head JV coach at Carson High School. Fired up. I'm so excited. We go to play Venice High School. It's my first game coaching. She's sitting up in the stands with about 35 crazy parents. We got smoked 34-13 that day. It was the greatest day of my life because I had found it. I found my passion. And after 2 years of doing that, she comes to me and she knew all I wanted to do was be the head coach at Carson High School. That's what I wanted to do. Take it, get us back on top, try to win championships and do all that. And she said, hey, don't get me wrong. I love your dream. You're really good at this. I think you can go as far as you want, and I got your back. And I'll make it happen, whatever we need to do. And she did. And she worked 3 jobs at times. And she told me the hard truths. And when I had problems with players or coaches, she said, you know what you need to do? You need to sit down and have those conversations. And she's just been everything to me. This is our journey. This is our dream. And we've been so excited and prepared for this opportunity. So thank you, and I love you, babe. So that's just kind of the journey. How I got here, started off with the dream in high school, and that turned into junior college. And at El Camino College, I learned the spread pass game from a man named John Featherstone, rest in peace. And that's where I met Pete Carroll. And Pete gave me an opportunity to come along with him. I spent 14 formative, amazing years.
All right, so I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause this real quick. I'm gonna go to WCNC real quick because y'all keep saying it, and I just need to cut it over. So I'm gonna cut over because y'all keep saying it.
This is how AI optimizes my
see?
schedule. So I have a
Now I
project
gotta
coming
get
up.
the
So I start by
5
listing the
seconds.
project and then setting it.
All right.
And finally, my wife, Lizzie.
It's behind. Now we gotta go back and listen to some stuff that we already heard, but it's all good.
It's really her fault. 20 years ago, I'm the head JV coach at Carson High School. Fired up. I'm so excited. We go to play Venice High School. It's my first game coaching.
Hey, y'all can pay for my YouTube premium if y'all keep talking about my ads. Y'all can pay for it.
And we got smoked 34-13
Drop me
that day.
$20 super chat every month, and I'll get YouTube premium.
Because I had found it. I found my passion. And after 2 years of doing that, she comes to me and she knew all I wanted to do was be the head coach at Carson High School. That's what I wanted to do. Take it, get us back on top, try to win championships and do all that. And she said, hey, don't get me wrong. I love your dream. You're really good at this. I think you can go as far as you want, and I got your back. And I'll make it happen, whatever we need to do. And she did. And she worked 3 jobs at times. And she told me the hard truths. And when I had problems with players or coaches, said, you know what you need to do? You need to sit down and have those conversations. And she's just been everything to me. This is our journey. This is our dream. And we've been so excited and prepared for this opportunity. So thank you, and I love you, babe. So that's just kind of the journey. How I got here. Started off with the dream in high school, and that turned into junior college.
We heard this part already, but that's why I'm gonna talk over it.
I learned
But my man said
spread pass
the
game from a
Panthers
man
got
named
the
John
Tubi.
Featherstone, rest in peace.
They got a Tubi deal.
And that's where I met
that's
Pete
funny.
Carroll. And Pete gave me an opportunity to come along with him. I spent 14 formative, amazing years. I don't know if you've heard the saying, see a little, see a lot. Well, if you can sit at that same porch, you'll watch the world go by. Watch the NFL world come through, the trends, the changes, the players, the generations of players, how to communicate, all happen in one place, in one city. For me, just was a recipe for forming a really solid identity and a belief in a way to win. And I was able to fortunately take that to Tampa last year and to show what can happen. Not what can't we do, but what can we do? Who are our guys? And how do we build an offense around these people? And I'm excited to be able to do that here with the whole team, to find our strengths, make them second nature, to find our weaknesses and work them into strengths. And I'm so excited to do it with Dan, with Brant, with Mr. and Mrs. Tepper, and all of us in the building, really, that every time those players walk into this building, they're going to feel that intentionality. They're going to feel that this is about them. This is about building a place for them to thrive. And so I'm excited to be here and to do this with you, Dan.
Likewise. Just kind of wanted to talk about like the type of players that we want to bring in here and just DNA wise. First of all, we need to find those leaders, those competitors, as Jay Stu would say, those dogs. Like we need some dogs. Like we got to get some guys that are passionate about football, that love football. They want to come out every day and compete on the practice field, in the weight room. We need competitors. We got to bring that back here. We got to bring that back here to Bank of America Stadium, to where people get excited about coming to see our team. We're super passionate about bringing a team that the fans can be proud of, that are
one fan mentioned, I appreciate
players
that.
can be proud of. Like when teams drive up to this stadium, we want them to fear that logo. The logo has to be feared again.
Ain't nobody
fearing
right now. It's not
feared.
Thanks
So
for
we gotta
keeping
get
it a
that
buck.
back, but I think it starts with getting the right type of players. And it's guys like you, like Thomas Davis, Jonathan Stewart, Hussein Muhammad. We got to get those type of guys. We want players with grit. We want players like Steve Smith, play with a chip on your shoulder, no holds bar. He's not taking any prisoners. We need those type of guys. Instincts and tenacity of Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly, guys like that can make plays. We need playmakers out there. We need competitors like Jake Delhomme, guys that they're going to compete in everything they do, and they're going to be pissed off, and they're not going to.
The biggest
Jake
fan, but that dude was a warrior, bro.
Those are the type of guys we need. I remember in 2003 we had our playoff game here. And I remember those towels out there, the white towels.
The growl towels, bro. Come on, Dan.
That's my dream for this organization. I was talking to David about that today. And we need to get that back, that excitement back here.
I don't know about the growl towel, but I mean,
roll up our sleeves, work hard, and find those type of
Steelers
players
keep that, bro.
Are going to help us get back to
that's a Steelers thing, Dan.
Games and winning. And that's what we want to be about here.
And for me, like just the marriage and the connection of it with Dan and I is just to create an environment that's set up, that our players have every resource at their disposal, that they come in here and they got a plan for their body. They got a plan for their mind. They got a plan for their whole person as they walk in, and that this building stops everything when our players come in and say, how can I help you? How can I serve you? That's the type of place that we have to be. It definitely speaks to the coaching staff being developmentally minded. I don't care about what we can't do. What can we do? Who are these players that we have? And how are we going to maximize those strengths on a daily basis? We're looking for championship moments, championship days, and that's got to be a full-on commitment every single time we walk in here. So for me, it's about building that culture, building our language, making sure that we're using specific language. There's going to be a bunch of buzzwords being thrown around. I don't like synonyms. We all speak the same language, and we're heading in the same direction with that alignment that we talk about. And I'm so excited to create that culture. Culture is what you celebrate. Culture is also what you condemn, and you say, this is a horrible looking play. Look what happened right here, guys. Boo this man, please, somebody. And then, like, at the same time, finding great opportunities from practice, from games, to celebrate it. That's how you create culture, and I'm really excited to be able to do that. The next piece of it is we got to get our football right. Let's just make it about the football. There's no storylines. There's no agendas. It's about good football. We got to play good football on both sides of the ball, be willing to look at it truthfully and improve, and take the next step and improve and capitalize on these moments to just see that growth and watch what it takes us. If we go after it every single day for a really long time, and for my players, I always say, guys, just get better the next day. Do that for about 10 years and look back and see where you went, see where you got. And for me, if it was this simple, how do we do that? It's our football philosophy here. It's all about the ball. We got to be crazy about getting the ball on defense. We got to be raking at the quarterback's elbow when we're sacking the quarterback. Every tackle has got to be an opportunity to get this ball back. Offensively, everything we do, from the protection calls all the way to how we carry it, to our receivers transitioning and the quarterback, the decisions, all is about taking care of the ball. +1 equals 82% win. That's a historical number. If we can just be one turnover better than our opponent, look what we can do. We'll set ourselves up for success. And that's, if I can make it that simple, what if I told you in the wild card round that the quarterbacks and teams that didn't turn it over won the game?
Yeah.
It was as simple as that.
Y'all gotta
we
break
even
that
talk
down.
in X's and O's and what the style and philosophy of our offense or defense is. If we make it about the ball, we can go as far as we want to and put ourselves in a position to be a championship team.
With that, I think we're going to open it up to questions
Hey,
for the media.
That's cool and
We'll open
everything.
it for questions. So if you would, please raise your hand, and we have microphones that will
That's
pass
cool and
around.
everything, but I'm tired of all the
as we
coach
call on
speak,
you,
bro.
we'll
Like, that
pass to you.
sounded
So
fantastic.
please
That
raise your
sounded
hand,
great,
get you the
but I'm
mics,
immune.
Introduce yourself with your name.
I'm
your
immune to all
affiliation,
that. That
and
means
we'll go
nothing
from
to me
there.
anymore.
So
Like,
our
I've heard it all
question will come from
before.
Steve Reed, followed by Carla Gephardt.
Frank Reich sounded great.
Hey guys,
How did that
Steve
turn
Reed
out
from
for
the
us?
Associated Press. Dave, certainly welcome to Charlotte, and Dan, congratulations on your promotion. I think you guys answered all our questions in your preamble there. But listen, I think fans want to know. It's been 6 years since this team, been to the playoffs. It's been 8 since they've won a playoff.
Since
game.
David, look at Nicole looking back.
What do you feel like is the blueprint?
Look at
to get
Nicole.
there? And secondly, most importantly, how long do you think it'll take?
I think it's about alignment and process. We got to have processes in place, and we got to be aligned in our building, and we're all moving towards the same direction, and that's towards a championship. So, to put it simply, I think that we just we got to roll our sleeves up, and we got to get to work, and we got to find the type of players that we want to infuse into our locker room, into our building, get winners in this building.
My timeline's today. How can we win today? Let's have a great interaction here. Let's start talking about what football you can expect out of us. And so today, this looks like a win for me. And that's just the way I think.
Dave.
Just approaching every single day.
All right,
It's
Dave.
1st and 10.
You're
I got
doing
a new
too
set
much,
of downs.
bro.
My whole call sheet's at my disposal. And got a bunch of fantastic people to go to work with today. It looks like putting a great staff together for me right now. It looks like getting with Dan, looking at this roster, and really coming up with an airtight plan for who we want to become.
Dave got Riz. He laid it on thick.
Charlotte, my question's for Dave. You mentioned your experience with quarterbacks. I want to know how that experience might help continue to develop Bryce Young in his second year.
Attention to the details, first and foremost. It all starts off with relationship. Bryce and I just getting to know each other. I want him to know that I have his best interest at heart. I want him to be the best possible version of himself.
This
That's
is
the same
important.
approach that I've taken since I've been coaching positions in the NFL. And that's really the approach I want to take with him. Some of the other things that kind of come to mind thinking about the quarterbacks that I've worked with over the last couple of years is we are going to become what Bryce is great at in the pass game. We're going to grow to the capacity that he can handle. There's got to be a commitment and a discipline about
That was a bar.
There was a growth curve there with Baker. Here's where we're at today based on the information we have. Let's get into these situations to see where he looks most confident. When I see that back foot planted in the ground and that ball rips out of there without any hesitation, I know we got something. Let's find more of those. Let's put it in 3 different personnels and a couple formations and motions.
That was interesting. I like that. I like that quote. I got to go back because I can't remember off the top of my head.
ESPN.com.
That was
wanted
very.
To ask you, welcome first. Wanted to ask you what made this job attractive, and secondly, what were your
There you go,
thoughts
Dave.
coming to an organization that had fired 3 head coaches in 5 years?
Yeah, so first and foremost in Seattle, like we never were anywhere close to touching the first overall pick. And the more that I got ready for this interview and started watching Bryce, looking at my notes from his eval, I mean, that's just a year ago. You know, we're evaluating him as a player, as a person. And with all the information that we could, I just got more and more fired up about the opportunity to have this amazing talent. And he's the guy. He's the right guy that we all talk about when we have that quarterback, that franchise, face of the franchise type of player. And that got me really excited. And then just on top of that, you know, I played against the Panthers twice, and the job that EJ Evero did with the defense
I told
was really
y'all.
hard
I told
to deal
y'all.
with. Great sound football, playing hard, some great
I
players
told
in some
you.
spots, and just the whole thing coming together. And then as it got to, you know, Dan and I have some history. So then I thought, shoot, if you look at some of the successful organizations, there's a dynamic relationship between the head coach and the GM. And then, of course, as I've gotten to meet the Teppers too, to feel their competitive nature, their passion for what they want here, what they want to see when they come out to the practice field, and just kind of knowing I can be that without faking anything, without having to make something up. I just felt more and more like this was going to be a great home. And I was really hoping, you know, as they were sorting through the names, that I would come out as one of the top candidates.
Interesting.
About coming to an organization that has fired 3 coaches in 5 years?
He answered the question,
I don't
Dave.
think that way. I'm talking about today. I want to win today. And so for me, coming into the situation, you know, same like Tampa is like, I want to look at what we have. What can we do? Not what can't we do? And that's just my mentality.
Hey guys, Scott Fowler, Charlotte Observer.
Oh,
I've got one
Scott.
for Dan and
Scott
one
to
for
Scott.
Dave. Dan, for yourself, I just wondered if you can talk about, you said you need, you know, more dogs, more good players. What that looks like specifically, like where you think this team is lacking and where you want to build it. And then Dave, I just wonder if you could talk specifically about, as a play caller, what you try to do, because you sound very passionate about that, and you know, deep balls, all that stuff.
Hey, yo, pause, man.
I think when you talk about
Scott
building a
Fowler, that
roster,
was flagrant, bro. Time
you know,
out.
I think it starts with competitors, guys that are passionate about football.
Bro.
We want to draft guys and sign guys in free agency that are passionate about football, that love football. We have a lot of guys in the locker room right now that love football and are passionate, but we need to get more. And, you know, the dog part of it, we need guys that are hungry to go out there and inflict pain on their opponents. We need guys' toughness. We need physicality. We need those type of things. I mean, just to put it plainly, we haven't had enough of that. And that's going to be our DNA, to where when people drive up to Bank of America Stadium, they know they're in for a dogfight. So that's what we want to create here.
Scott,
play calling, just thought process there. Like, you know, we ended up becoming us. That's one of the things I was really proud of, is just kind of looking at like what run game fits us best. What's the best thing for Chuba? What's the best pass game for Bryce? You know, with
no
the
mention of
different
Miles
pieces that we
Sanders.
have on the offensive side. You know, we were able to find an identity in how to do that and win down the stretch, to put ourselves in position to play good football and beat a really good team in the wild card round and give the Lions a run for their money there. That's a really good team, a great environment and challenge for us there. And there were a couple games that got pretty hot there, you know, and this is my first time around, so I'm really excited to see the growth there too. Some people in the building that we have who have done it at a high level for a long time, you know, Jim Caldwell being one of those,
I thought you were talking about players.
who's just got an eye for offense, an eye for this whole organizational piece. And I'm excited for my growth in the second year, as calling plays. And the mentality is, what are they giving us today? and just having that variety, having the marriage of the run and pass, things that start off the same but end up being different. To have those nuances in plays and utilize my staff so I can have good information on game day.
Dave, are there particular things you recall about Dan as a young scout in Seattle, his first, entry into that part of the profession? And how do you guys plan to create kind of that John Pete dynamic here?
Yeah. Well, we were was it 1 or 2 doors apart? 2 doors apart in the hallway down there. And it was kind of a little bit of a crazy, loud hallway for us. And, but what I remember about Dan in those times is just his conviction, his belief. Ashley, I'm sure you have a hard time, thinking that he had an opinion about stuff. But right off the bat, just as a former player, he comes in and is like, he could just see it. He could just tell what a good football player was. And I wasn't, by no means was I an expert at that time, but I just, I have a high value of my ability to evaluate. And Dan always had his opinions, and it was very clear thoughts that he felt strongly about. So that impressed me early on. And then as we grew to get to know each other, it was just kind of like he was such a natural in this world of evaluating players.
Thanks, man. Hey guys, Joe Person back here. In
Shout out to Joe.
row. I've got one for each of you. So I'll start with Dan. Hearing a lot of talk about alignment. How much of that and how you guys wanted to restructure the front office and build Dave's staff has to do with last season when there were lots of reports of factions.
Talk about it.
And even
Joe,
going all the way up to ownership.
Peel back the onion. We need to know.
I think it has to do everything with just moving forward. And, we're not looking back. We're looking ahead. We all want to be aligned. The business side, the football side, the locker room, the weight room, everybody on the same page, same mission, same vision. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about alignment. The whole building has to be on the same page. If we want to win, we all have to be on the same page. And we got to be communicating every day. We got to know the building inside out, and we all have to be aligned.
Hey, they wasn't even on the same. They wasn't even in the same book last year.
Dave,
they had 2 different novels.
You mentioned Ajero. What's your confidence level? Is the defensive staff going to be back intact?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, just the respect factor that I have going against them. I know the scheme going against it. I'm really excited to learn more about the ins and outs as far as how the calls come in, the adjustments and all that. I just know it was really difficult on me for years, whether it was in Seattle going against the Rams and that family, or this year just going against EJ twice. So, and this is really important for me, especially as a first-time head coach who's like, I'm here to make sure we get our football right, especially on the offensive side, that we have that continuity with the players, with EJ, just being able to have the mentality that I saw that was really challenging to play against.
You answered the question though.
Yes. I mean, this is, for me, like what a huge piece of what we're doing.
But we talked about that on the show too.
Dan,
Shout out to Rob in the building.
right
We talked about
you
Ejiro
mentioned,
and
other
Canales
people
being
telling you
together.
that
That's
you
the
were a
best
good
case
talent
scenario.
evaluator. When did you realize that was where maybe your plan was after playing?
I think once I got done playing, you're always, as a former player, I know a lot of guys here, like, you try to figure out what is the next step, who am I? Because you reach your goal at such a young age, and then you're left retired, and you're like 30 some years old, and you're like, well, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? It's not like you can go in the corporate world or just go
Look at
somewhere
young
and get a
Dan.
job. So for me, it was
Look at young
about
Dan.
getting back into what I knew best, which was football.
Dan
To
Morgan was a
start out
problem
in
back in the day,
Seattle
bro.
and learn out there from some of the best, one of the best GMs in the NFL, and then to continue that on to Buffalo and learn under Brandon Beane, like it's been invaluable. They've taught me a lot, and they've really made me who I am today in terms of an evaluator.
Dave, Dan, Jorge Andres with WBTV. First, Dave, welcome to Charlotte.
Thank you.
Quick question for each of you. I'll start with you, Dave. You mentioned a little bit of analytics when you went into talking about the +1, 82%.
+1 equals
We all
82%.
obviously know the turnaround that Russ, Gino, and Baker have done. How do you plan to implement those resources and those analytics when analyzing Bryce's Bryce's
Great question.
trajectory and the potential that he could be?
I haven't really gotten fully into the details on that. I watched a good amount of Bryce going into the interview process, but right now I'm going back through the games, kind of looking at the story of the season, and the critical and pivotal moments in those games. So, speaking about a specific plan there, there's a bunch of critical variables. I don't want to get too much into the football philosophy at this point, but just know, like, it starts with the ball. For me, there's a way to win games in the NFL. It's defense, it's run game, it's an explosive pass game that comes off of that run game, and then in the pass game, it's getting that ball out in 2-7 or less. That's a critical deal for me. It's been a really important number for us in Seattle, and being able to just track that for decision making, for route timing, the protection, and all that. It all kind of fits into this really good brand of football that is complementary. As we go through the season.
He definitely got an analytical
This
brain,
one
bro.
is for you. Bringing Dave in and having the conversations to bring Dave in. He's currently the only head coach of Mexican descent. It's no secret that the Carolinas and the Charlotte area has the largest Mexican demographic in this part. Talk me through that thought process of that representation for a large fan base that is quickly growing year by year as well.
I think first of all, diversity is a big part of what we do here with the Carolina Panthers. Dave just happened to be, Mexican, American, and also a really good coach and a really qualified
Dude start
coach.
stuttering when you talk
so
about diversity, bro. You can't say
I'm really
that.
happy that
You
he's
say
here with
one
us,
wrong
and,
thing and you
we're
cancel.
really blessed to
Be
have him.
careful, Dan. Be careful, Dan.
Guys, Brett Jensen
Be
with
careful.
WBT Radio over. There you go. There you go. Dave, this
One
is
wrong
for you.
move and you out of here.
In terms of, you've worked with short quarterbacks in the past, successful with Russell Wilson, successful with Baker Mayfield. You also had a very tall quarterback with Geno Smith. Is there a special way to coach shorter quarterbacks under 6 feet, as opposed to a taller quarterback?
I think there are certain challenges. I'm not going to go and tell the whole NFC South what those advantages are. I
Right.
think that's kind of a
Don't snitch on us, bro.
proprietary deal that we're going to own here. But I will say that there are just certain things you can do to help. There are ways to find what that quarterback's comfortable seeing. You got a guy like Drew Brees, who's about my height, which is still short in terms of a 6'7" tackle. So whether you're 5'11" or whether you're 6'1", you can't really see over any of the linemen. So there's an approach to it. And at the end of the day, it's about decision making and just kind of making sure that we can have as many of our 5 eligibles available for the quarterback from a visual standpoint.
Guys, Kyle Bailey, WFNZ back.
You've been listening to new Panthers head coach Dave Canales and general manager Dan Morgan for the first time
gotta go back to the
in their new
Panthers?
roles as they take the reins of the Carolina Panthers.
Ah,
Mr.
man,
Morgan
what
saying
y'all
he wants the
doing, bro?
Panthers
Let's go back to
once
the-
again be feared. He doesn't feel like they've been feared recently.
Yeah.
He's like, a lot of that starts with getting the right players in the right place.
And they talked about, they've actually known each other for 7 years, and they said this is a dream come true to work with each other.
Reach that vision and that mission every single day.
Back
So
to
it's
trash
just
audio.
constant communication, and it's just being aligned in everything we do down to the detail.
Guys, on your right, Mike Solarte, Spectrum News 1. Dave, welcome to the Carolinas. Dan,
thanks, Mike.
Congratulations. It's been a journey.
Building a strong U.S.
Oh, there goes my
Canada-based
YouTube
supply chain
Premium. Let
is
me get
easy
YouTube
with
Premium.
Thomas. That's because to try to bring this team back to where you wanted to go, Dan. I mean, you were part of a Super Bowl team, and Dave, I know you want to follow in those footsteps.
No pressure, but a lot of hunger. Like a lot of hunger to be great, a lot of hunger to get this organization back to where it needs to be, which is back in the playoffs, which is competing for championships year after year. So there's a urgency with that, that we're striving towards every single day.
Can I say I'm nervous? Is that all right? I mean, to be honest, just getting this opportunity, and
That's real.
I've got a ton of excitement about it. I got a lot of things that I'm ready to put to the test, and that's been a lot of theory, from a leadership standpoint. But yeah, this is a big task. This is serious for me. This is a great opportunity. And so I don't take that lightly, but at the same time, like Dan just hit, like I'm fired up about it. And I love a great challenge. And I didn't shy away from the Tampa job. And there was a lot of people that kind of looked
True.
at that and thought, like, what are you thinking? You
It's
got
a
a
good
great
point.
situation with Gino in Seattle. And I just was like, I'm going to bet on us. And I'm going to look at what we do have and see if I can make
I do
the
like
most
that. He
without
bet on himself for
maximizing.
sure.
Somebody ran into me and was like, you guys really overachieved. And I just hate that term. I love the thought of maximizing, just getting every last drop out of everyone involved, all together in a worthy cause. So I'm excited for it.
Sounds good.
Too, and
We'll
I
see.
realize
But that's
how
real.
needy this is.
That's
All right,
real
we
though.
have time for 2 more
Being
questions.
being
We'll come
nervous.
back and
That's
then
real.
wrap up with Alex Zietlow from the Post.
Michael said, Fox Charlotte. Dan, at the moment, you guys do not have a first-round draft pick. How high is it on the to-do list to get one?
It's not really high. I mean, we have the 33rd pick, which is essentially a late first round pick. We're just going to draft good players, and hopefully at 33, I think there'll be a good player there. If we choose to move back, if we choose to move up, that's to be seen. But we're going to plan. We're going to have a plan, and we're going to execute on that plan.
Hello, to your right. Alex Zietlow with the Charlotte Observer. Dave, welcome. Dan, again, thank you so much for taking the time. Dave, you have shown that you
It's icky.
are enthusiastic online and are willing to engage with the fan base on social media. When did that start? Is that going to continue? And why do you think that's important?
Gonna get cooked, Dave. Be careful.
What's important to me is that we all grow to have a relationship. And as we have a chance to get into more detail about what we're looking for from a football standpoint, my hope is that I can show you what to look for in what we're going to try to become. From a philosophical standpoint, of course, the whys and the hows, that's going to be depending on what our players are. My hope is that if I put this out there and I say this is who we're going to be, that we're able to have this relationship where, like, you keep me accountable on this. You
Don't worry about that, sir.
play this brand of football. You guys are crazy about the ball.
You ain't got to worry
We had
about that.
3 turnovers last week. We were -2 or we were -3, and I'll be able to say that's a great point. That's not the kind of football we want to play. So my hope is that we can kind of grow in that relationship as we have that expectation for who we're going to become. I don't know if I answered everything. Is there another part of your question there? Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Really appreciate you being here. Now we would ask at the TVs if you would make your way down the hall. We have an opportunity for one-on-ones with our head coach and president and general manager. And for our working writing press, if you would make your way to our media workroom, we'll have some player availability coming up very shortly. Thank you very much.
All right, so I got some commentary that I want to partake. I got a question, Panther Nation, because Dave is a very, very good speaker. The energy's there. We know about all that. That sounds nice. But I got a question. Do y'all think it's genuine, or do y'all think Dave is putting on? Do y'all think it? I mean, listen, I'm not saying he's fake. I'm not trying to say that. But do y'all think he's really like that? Y'all think that is going to continue moving forward? Because when times get tough, it's easy for you to say, "Hey, bro, like, yeah, we going this energy is all." But when the ish hits the fan, it's different, bro. He's never been a head coach before, right? It's different from being an offensive coordinator or a wide receivers coach to now being a head coach, right? The responsibility, like the being on Twitter, all that stuff, that's cool. But bro, if things happen to go south, bro, you gonna have to stand on business. And all that energy, you gotta keep that same energy. You know what I mean? So I'm not hating. I'm just asking a question. I'm not hating. I'm asking a question. I'm asking the question of the fan base. I'm not saying he's fake. I'm just asking a question. That's it. That's all I'm asking. I'm just saying, is that energy going to be the same when times get tough? It just seemed for someone to be that positive. What happens when times get tough? You know what I mean? I just want to see how he responds. I'm not saying it's fake. I just want to see how he responds. And maybe this is true. Maybe listen, I'm scarred. I'm damaged as a fan. Maybe I got to turn the page. Fair enough. I'll take that. But we'll see when things get ugly. When things get ugly, is he gonna be that same guy? You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. We will see. We will see. But again, the positivity is great. I'm not jumping all in on it. I'm not jumping 2 feet into the deep end, believing everything, because I gotta see it. It's day one, and he's talking about winning today. Day by that all sounds great. That all sounds great. But bro, we needed to translate to victories at the end of the day. And I'm here to be patient. Again, ain't nobody preached patience more than Rashad of PNP, right? Y'all was out on right long before I was. I'm all about the patience aspect, but we got to see progress. So all you can talk all that positive energy and all that, that's all great. But at the end of the day, it's going to have to translate to victories and progress. And that's what we need to see. That's what I need to see personally. You know what I mean? So again, I like the guy. I think he's a great guy, and I'm guarded, right? It's like you see this bad Joan, and you want to talk to her, but you just getting out of a relationship. Like you don't want to put yourself, you don't want to expose yourself. That's how I am right now. Like I love the guy. I think he's great. Everything that you guys are saying, I agree with you. But at the same time, I don't want to. You could say all you want. You could talk all the talk. You know what I mean? Rome wasn't built in 7 years. All that rah-rah that Matt Rule came in here and preached a sermon and had people ready to run through a brick wall. And then look how that turned out. You know what I mean? So it's cool, man. It's cool. So I don't know, bro. We'll see. I'm with y'all. Talk is cheap. We'll see. But I do think I like the guy's energy. I like that he's young. His perspective is different. He's a positive thinker. That's how I am. Like outside of this, I think positively. I don't have like negative. Like I don't think negative. I don't look at the bad side of it. And I think we kind of are the same in that aspect. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we got to see it, bro. We got to see it, bro. We got to see it. I did not see Joe Person's tweet. Let me check Joe Person's tweet because everybody's saying go to Joe Person's last tweet. Let me check it out. Let me see. Asked if he was going to do interviews today. Panthers owner David Tepper said with a grin, "No, I'm in the background now." Hey, I like that. I like that. I'm with that. That's dope. I'm about to post a response to that. That's funny. Yeah, let's play the back. I like it. I like it. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with that. I really like that. We don't want to hear from Dave no more, bro. Respectfully. Hopefully you got the right guys in the building and we don't need to see you anymore. Let Dave, let Canales, let Canales and let and Dan Morgan do their jobs. We don't want to see you in the draft rooms. We don't want to see you, bro. We just want to see you throw up the peace sign in the press box after we getting these dubs. That's what we want to see, Tep. We good. Let the people cook, bro. You hired them, let them cook. Shout out to y'all saying he stepped back. Yeah, we like that. I'm with that. I agree with that. I agree with it. I agree. I love it. I love it. I'm a fan of that. Shout out to y'all for pointing that tweet out because I think that's important. But I like, again, a couple more things I like about Canales. I like his analytical brain. Somebody said in the chat earlier, they said, yeah, the analytic is nothing but college math or something like that. That's true, but it's about the application of the analytics. That's the application of the math is what makes you an analytics guy. Are you going to apply what you are you going to apply that data, right? For example, he says +1 equals 82%. So if y'all didn't understand what he said in that means when you win the turnover battle, when you're +1 in the turnover battle, that equals an 82% win percentage. So it's all about winning the turnover battle. Create turnovers, don't turn the football over. That sounds great, but you got to apply it. You got to apply that. One other thing I caught when he was talking, he specifically Talked about Chuba Hubbard. No mention of Miles Sanders. Very interesting. No applied mathematics. Thank you. There you go. Applied mathematics. Man, listen, y'all know what y'all be talking about here. I appreciate y'all. Analytics is basically applied mathematics. Yeah, exactly. And he also talked about 2.7 or less. That was getting the football out, right? Getting the football out in 2.7 seconds or less. So how do you then create an offensive line, right? That's going to give him that 2.7 seconds. And if they can't, the offensive line isn't holding up. How do you then adjust your routes so that he has an out to get the football out in 2.7 seconds or less? It's about the application of those numbers. So if he's really truly about that, I think we got a good one here. We got a good one here. So we'll see, man. Listen, cautiously optimistic, bro. And again, shout out to Double O Kane. I agree with this too. Double O Kane, he says, I like when Dan Morgan said the logo needs to be feared again. Agreed, bro. I'm not. A lot of y'all talked about the terrible towels. I'm not a terrible towel guy. That's not me. I ain't the terrible towels. That's a Steelers thing. You know what I mean? I mean, Tepper did come from the Steelers, but that's an old school Steelers thing. I know I saw the Lions do it. That's cool. But again, I'm all for bringing something. I'm all for having something. But the terrible towels, that's a Steelers thing. The growl towel is what they call them here in Carolina. It's the growl towel. If y'all want to do that, cool. You know what I mean? So, but I definitely agree that the logo needs to be feared again. Like, we're a laughing stock last year. And I also like that Dan Morgan, they asked him about the past, and he respectfully declined and said, listen, we're going to talk about the future. He said, we're going to talk about the future. You know what I mean? We're not going back to the past. We're going to turn the page. We got to be on the same page. Like I said during the press conference last year, these dudes would have different books. They will read for separate textbooks. They were not even in the same book. You know what I mean? Now if we can get guys on the same page from a coaching staff perspective, you're going to see improvement in the win-loss category. And it seems like everybody's aligned, right? He's bringing in guys he's worked with in the past. They're on the same page. Dan Morgan and Dave Canales have worked together in Seattle. They have a 7-year work history together. So I like it, man. Listen, I like it. It all seems well. It all seems like it's going to be well. But at the end of the day, man, we'll find out. I'm all about show me. Show me how you're going to improve in free agency. It starts in free agency. Free agency. When free agency opens up, we're going to get a really good indication on how this team is, what the identity of this team is going to be. Are we going to let go of certain guys like Miles Sanders? What are they going to do with Brian Burns? What are they going to do with Derrick Brown? Who's being prioritized? If you look into that, who they bringing in free agency, if we can take inklings from those moves, you're going to start to see how this team is going to be built, right? It starts in free agency, bro. You got to show me the draft. Who are you going to draft? Bryce Weapons? Is it going to be a majority offensive draft? Is it going to be a majority defensive draft? Where are the cap dollars spent? We're going to have an idea about the identity of this team before training camp starts and OTA start. Before rookie mini camp even begins, based on the free agent moves, we're going to have an identity. We're going to start to see it. So we'll see, man. I'm excited, man. Listen, I'm excited. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic, bro. I'm trying, bro. But listen, I'm scarred. We, as Panther fans, man, listen, I got this helmet, that signed helmet with all that coaching staff on it. I got to erase all that. I got to get a Dave Canales staff helmet. We're going to start over. And I don't know if they confirmed that Ijiro is back. Theoretically, all signs point to that. All signs point to it in that, the Seattle Seahawks hired McDonald. So I don't even think Ijiro interviewed with the Commanders, so he's not on their radar. So theoretically, Ijiro has no other options for head coach positions. But Joe Person did put out an article stating that Ijiro would like to potentially coach elsewhere if he had an option to be a defensive coordinator somewhere else. I don't know how true that is. You take it for what it's worth. He said the article, I don't know the quote, so don't quote me on that, but the article stated something that he wanted to move laterally somewhere else rather than be the defensive coordinator here in the Carolinas. Again, I don't know. Y'all take it for what it's worth. That's what the insider sources are saying. But if we can keep EJ here, if we can keep Evero here, that is fantastic news. And I told y'all that, again, that Canales coming here had a lot to do with that staff, with that defensive staff. He talked about how tough it was to score on those guys. He had respect for the defense. And that defense has an identity. That was a big part in the reason that he chose to come here. You know what I mean? And along with Bryce. So we'll see, man. We expect him to say, we expect him. Expectation sometimes doesn't meet reality. Expectation sometimes does not meet reality. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I love Evero. I hope he stays. That defense played well. They did a fantastic job. So I hope that we can keep the defensive staff together, the entire defensive staff, not just Evero, but the whole second, like D'Angelo Hall, all those guys that we had in the defensive staff. I hope we can keep them all. You know what I mean? I hope that we keep them all. But I also agree. I don't blame him. Well, he is under contract. Yeah, can't blame the DC for wanting to move, but he can't leave for a lateral move. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to something of the North. I can't pronounce that. My man is right. You're right. He's under contract, so theoretically he has a job to complete and a contract to fulfill. So I don't know. We would have to allow him to move, but you also don't want a disgruntled coordinator, right? If he doesn't want to be here, you kind of got to let him walk because you don't want that energy in the building. So I get it, bro. I see both sides of it. Hopefully we can keep Evero around. I think that's going to be a major factor. But with that said, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, get in the comments. I got to get up out of here. I will holler at y'all a little bit later, probably do some Reese's Senior Bowl stream, something like that. Again, great press conference, but we got to see it. We got to see the results, and the results start in free agency. We're going to see how this team is going to be built, how it's going to be configured, what's going to be the identity of this team. It starts in free agency, then the draft, and then we'll see what we got from there. Right? With that said, like, subscribe, notification bell. I'll holler at y'all. I'm out. Peace.